Yo, what up everyone? Welcome to the Rise Zone podcast. Get in the zone. And today I'm going to be talking about the many run-ins with legendary hip-hop artists through the years that I've encountered. You know what I mean? So like the first one was, it was me and my dude, Slugs. This was when we was in high school. We was probably sophomores. This was around like probably 01, 02 when Rough Riders was really popping. And we saw Drag On, and like he was like in a car. He was in a whip. He was like, we was over there, if you were familiar with Fordham Road in the Bronx, like that McDonald's that's by Webster across from the Best Buy now, like that like curve up the hill. We were standing by the McDonald's right there, and then we saw him across the, like across the street where the Little Caesars is, like Decatur Ave. So he was in like a car, and he like nodded at us like, yo, what up, like type shit, but he didn't say nothing. But we was kind of like flabbergasted, like, oh shit, like that's Drag, cause I'm a big Drag fan, you know what I mean? So like yeah, so we was like wilding and shit, like, so but unfortunately we didn't have a convo with him, so cause he was in the car obviously. Now, the second one was, I was with my fam in Maryland. This was around like 01, 02. This is like when Fat Joe was really starting to come into his own. He had just dropped Jose, Jealous One, Still Envy. That album was crazy. I still have that too. So, long story short, like, I'm with my fam at a rest stop in Baltimore, Maryland. So, like, I'm heading out the bathroom, and I see like this big Spanish nigga, like with like hip hop shit on, like mad ill gear on. So I'm like, oh shit, that look like Fat Joe. But like I didn't think nothing of it, because I was kind of shook, because this nigga was mad big, and I'm like a little nigga, and I was like probably around 16 at the time. So long story short, I'm back with my fam, and then my cousin is there, and then he's like, I'm like, yo, I think I just seen Fat Joe. And then he was like, yeah, like, I was like, yeah, that was him. I mean, he was like, yeah, that was him. And then, I was like, oh, shit. And then sure enough, he comes walking past us. And then, my cousin was like, yo, Fat Joe. And then he was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, Fat Joe. And, we was like, yeah, and we started talking and stuff like that. And then we was gonna take a picture and have him sign an autograph, but we didn't have a camera or nobody had a pen or no paper or no camera or nothing. So, and then he was like, oh man, and then like he hugged us and stuff like that and whatever. And then after we left, we saw them in TS. They was like in some whip or like a Jeep or something on the side over there. I guess they were touring or some shit like that. So that was a dope experience. The next one was, I saw rapper C-Rayz Walz on the D Train. He's like an underground rapper. This was dope because I'm a big fan of his, and I saw him on the D Train. This was going uptown back to the Bronx. So I got on, I think at like I forgot what stop I got on at, but but long story short, I was sitting like in the 2 seats by the window, I think at 59th Street. So I happened to look to my right. From 59th to 125th, it's like no stops on the D, it's express. So I happened to look to my right. I hear some nigga coughing like, and he's talking to himself. So I look over, and I see some nigga there. I'm like, oh, that's C-Rayz Walz. And then immediately I'm like, yo, C-Rayz. And then we just start chopping it up. It's like I knew him all my life and stuff like that. We was just talking about a lot of things. He was telling me about the music industry and like things like that, how the money's funny, you know what I'm saying? Like he was saying like, just get a job, and then he was like, if you do it, just do that on the side or whatever. And then he was saying how like, it's not really what you think it is, so like, and then he played me like this exclusive song that I never heard before. It was dope. And then he had he said a line in there. He was like, something just came out of the blue like a Smurf fart. or some shit like that. Like mad witty, yo. And then you know, so we was chopping it up and stuff. He got off at Tremont Ave and stuff like that. So I guess he lived there. He was visiting somebody, so he was still in the hood like that. I think he's from Fordham Road, actually, I believe. And then I got off at Fordham and stuff like that. I was supposed to get off at 161st to transfer to the 4 because I was heading to work, I believe, after that, or something like that. But no, I was heading home. I was heading home, but like I was gonna transfer to the 4 for some reason. But then I was like, fuck that, I'm staying on the D train. And then, you know, unfortunately at that time I wasn't taking music serious then, so I didn't give him no. I mean, he gave me his email because I was like, yo, I'm gonna send you beats and shit like that. It was you know what I mean, and which I did, and he actually responded, but he never used them. But like yeah, and then I'm trying to see what else happened that day. Yeah, I didn't have no type of business card, or I didn't have a camera to take a picture with him, unfortunately. And then lastly, well, I used to work security at the Met Museum from like 2011 to 2015. So I saw Immortal Technique. I used to work in the elevators. Some days I was like operating the elevators. So one day I happened to look up, and some dude was like, yo, I think he said like 2nd or 3rd floor. It was like he was going to the trustee's dining room. So you know, I look up, and then it's this nigga Immortal Technique, and then I'm like, oh shit, Immortal Technique. And he was like, yeah, you know, and we started just like, you know, and then he got off the elevator, and then I never seen him again. You know, it was just a spur of the moment thing. And also there I saw KRS-One while I was working the European galleries. Those who visited the Met, you would know that it's like that little area where you could see like where the modern art, where that wing is, where the people eat at, and then it has like modern art and African art like that. So I saw KRS-One through the glass window on the 2nd floor heading towards the trustees' elevators. So I didn't actually get a chance to meet him in person, but I saw him through the glass window on the 2nd floor heading toward the trustees' elevators. I mean the elevators to the trustees' dining room. I guess that's where he was going. You know what I'm saying? So I had a interesting time there. So that's just some stuff, run-ins that I had with some famous legendary hip-hop artists through the years. Alright? Till next time. One.
I'm just sitting here thinking, zoning, my thoughts roaming on a tangent, but check it, still sharp and still and heels clicking heels off to see the